Yo, what's going on, everyone? This is Austin from Calling Our Shot, and we are back for some player props and spreads in the NBA for Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Man, oh man, it doesn't get better than that. Although these will be the final games of the NBA season, won't see any more NBA basketball until October, but I believe we got some of the Olympic basketball, we got some Summer League stuff to carry us through. But let's talk about today's game, Phoenix Suns versus the Milwaukee Bucks. What an unpredictable series. If you would have told me this at the beginning of the year, I would have been like, you're crazy. But the Suns are sitting at 6.5 point favorites today. Over-under has risen from, I believe, 216 all the way up to 218.5 points now. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. We're a little over 100 subscribers. We appreciate all the love and support on the recent videos. Can't do it without you guys. We do a daily picks video for every single NBA game, and we'll obviously keep doing them for the NBA Finals. And we do our MLB picks. Logan is killing it. But let's talk about it by popular demand. Live streams. Yes, I am back today live streaming. We'll be live streaming the game. Obviously not live streaming the actual game or else YouTube will boot us right off the platform. But we're going to be live streaming the game, just giving you my thoughts and reactions and just reacting to our bets. So leave me your favorite bet down in the comments below and maybe I'll place it and we'll ride it out together. I'll be live around 8:45 to 9, about 20 minutes before game time, depending on what time zone you are in. Also, our first NFL video for football is up. I ran through a full NFL fantasy football mock draft, and I promise you, I fumbled the bag in that one, so you want to check that out. That will be live tomorrow morning. Also, shout out to our COS All-Stars, Rick and Vincent, the newest ones. If you want to be like Rick and Vincent, join the coolest platform community on YouTube. Click the join button on the channel and I'll shout you out in tomorrow's video. But let's talk about game one. I obviously said Suns sitting about 6.5 point favorites today. Might go up, might go down. It has gone up from 5.5 earlier in the week. But let's talk about it. With Giannis, we have him doubtful. The injuries are obviously notable. Giannis, arguably the biggest injury in the whole playoffs so far. And he's going to be doubtful today. And so I do not expect him to play. And you'll see with my player props. And I always say to caution, you limit those unit sizes in game one. It's obviously hard to expect what could happen. And we've seen some blowouts in game ones of past NBA finals. But with the Giannis injury, it's really hard to predict. But if you look at the regular season matchups, which we really won't take much into account here, but both were 1-point Suns victories. And we're not going to talk about the phantom Devin Booker foul call. We're not going to get into that. The Bucks were missing Jrue Holiday, and we're starting Bryn Forbes, who's hardly seen any action the past two series. Either way, I probably will add some plays, including a same-game parlay as the day goes on. So as I see injuries come in and out, that'll probably give me a better idea of what I want to do player props-wise, as well as odds boosts. You never know about the odds boost every day. So follow us on Twitter at Calling Our Shot. But let's get into my first official play. Deandre Ayton over 15.5 points, minus 125. I do not mind this line at 16.5. In all three of the Phoenix Suns playoff series, so you talk about the first one against the Lakers, then against the Nuggets, and then against the Clippers. All three of them, game one, Deandre Ayton. They all had one common thing, Deandre Ayton 20-plus points, and I think that will be, again, the case today. The Phoenix Suns, Monty Williams, CP3, Devin Booker, they know arguably their most important and most impactful player is Deandre Ayton. He's not going to score the most points, although if he does, he'll probably win Finals MVP, so sprinkle something on that. I believe he's like plus 2,500 to win Finals MVP. But Ayton, he's arguably their most impactful because he's very important to their defense. He's their defensive anchor, and they need him out there playing hard on both ends of the floor. And I think that's what he does in game one. I think they'll try to get him the ball. Obviously, Brook Lopez, Bobby Portis, likely with Giannis out, will both be starting again. And I think he'll be able to feast on their defense. In 5 career games, he has all 5. He has hit this over in all 5 of those games. And if you added 16.5, good. He hit that one too. 17-plus points in all 5 career games against Milwaukee. I think that trend continues. To see PJ Tucker, Jrue Holiday constantly harassing Devin Booker and CP3, and I think they'll dish it off to our man Ayton to clean it up. If you're looking to play Ayton's rebounds, I caution you just because it's hard to really bet on a big man that's playing against Brook Lopez because sometimes he's out in the paint. Sometimes he's out in the paint like he was in the Brooklyn Nets days in the past couple games without Giannis. Other times he's all the joy sitting out on the perimeter. So might throw that into a same-game parlay. We'll see about that. But for now, we're starting with Deandre Ayton over 15.5 points. Moving on to my next one, the man we just mentioned, Brook Lopez. I'm taking this under 23.5 points plus rebounds. If you don't have this, I don't mind either of the lines, whether it be his under in points or rebounds. I believe points sitting at 16.5, rebounds sitting at 6.5. Brook Lopez, the crossed leg god. If you don't know what I'm talking about, he was memed because he was crossing his legs on the bench after he dropped 33 points on the Atlanta Hawks. But anyways, taking his under today, and it's nothing personal. I love Brook. He's quite an interesting player to watch. Sometimes you see him just firing up threes, 7 shots, 7 threes. Sometimes you see him go back to the Nets version like he was in the last 2 games against the Hawks and drop 33 points. But let's talk about in the season as a whole. 11 games this season without Giannis. Brook has hit this over in just 4 of 11 games. And 3 of those games were against teams that do not play any defense at the center position. Timberwolves, Karl-Anthony Towns. Defense, never heard of it. Bulls, that was Nikola Vucevic at the time. Yeah, no defense, never heard of it. And then versus the Kings. And yeah, they don't play any defense against any position. And then obviously the one other game, the 4th game that he hit the over, was against Atlanta when he dropped 33 points. Now, I think that 33 was an abnormality. You saw him come back to earth in Game 6 with 13 points and 6 rebounds, easily cashing this under. I'm not too scared of Brook Lopez grabbing a ton of rebounds. That's normally not what he does. And he didn't do that against Capella, who basically just camped out in the paint. He put up his tent and said, all right, I'm going to be standing here, put my foot in, and then foot out of the paint. That's all he does. Don't expect him to do that against Deandre Ayton. As a Milwaukee Buck, Brook Lopez has failed to hit this over ever against the Suns. He's 0 for 6, and his stat lines in those 2 matchups this season were 33 minutes, 7 points, 5 rebounds, and then 31 minutes, 10 points, 6 rebounds. Obviously a little different without Giannis, so that's why we're limiting our unit sizes today, or limiting how many units we'll be placing on this game. But I do believe they hold him in check, and they'll involve him a little bit. And I think the Suns will just involve him a lot in on defense and make him guard pick and rolls, CP3, Booker, mid-ranges, stuff like that. And there's a lot of different ways, like Thomas says, like I always preach, there's a lot of different ways this under could hit. There's very few ways that the over hits, and he's going to have to shoot pretty well from the field. If he could get into foul trouble, he could be played off the court. You never know. And I'll lock this under in. Under 23.5 points plus rebounds. Now, my final play before, we'll obviously have some more plays probably today. Final play, Bucks plus 6.5 versus the Suns. I'm taking it. I'll take the underdog in this spot. I think this is too many points in my opinion, especially for a team that loves playing as an underdog. You saw everyone expected them to fold in games 5 and 6 without Giannis. They're like, all right, my Hawks futures bets, I'm locking them in. Yeah, no. Bucks stepped up. Khris Middleton, Jrue Holiday all stepped up when they won those 2 games without him. Now, I'm not saying they're going to win the NBA Finals without Giannis. I don't think they will do that, but I do think they got a good chance at covering today. 6.5 points is a lot. We've seen this line go up from 5.5 to 6, all the way up to 6.5. Would not be surprised to see this line go back down to 6, and I don't mind them at that spot. Also, on a related note, DraftKings has boosted the Suns money line from whatever it is, minus 240 to plus 100. So you're saying there's a chance because they did that to the Bucks in Game 1 of the Hawks series. Yeah, they lost that game outright. They did it again to the Bucks in Game 4. They lost that game outright too. So you never know. FanDuel also has an odds boost out there for the Suns to lead after every quarter to go wire to wire. Yeah, no, not going to happen. So maybe the Bucks give us a slim chance. Maybe they give you a chance to hedge if you ever wanted to at like Suns -1 live bet. Either way, I'm taking Milwaukee plus the points, and I'll live with the result. Plus, it's a bet that I can watch live with you guys and react and be like, all right, well, there you go. Those are my official plays, but I will 100% add a same-game parlay that we will track, and I'll put that in the Discord and on Twitter at CallinUshot, so make sure you're following us there. But a recap of my official bets, Deandre Ayton over 15.5 points, Brook Lopez under 23.5 points plus rebounds, and the Milwaukee Bucks plus 6.5. As a reminder, I will be live watching this game with you guys, so come stop by if you want. We'll be having some fun, and like I said, I'll be live about 20 minutes before it. I'll tweet it out. I'll put it on in the Discord as well. We'll just be hanging out and talking to you guys, talking about basketball. This is our final basketball games of the season, and that hurts to say, but we'll be back again for some more. Like I said, our NFL video coming out tomorrow, so check out that. It was a lot of fun to film, and maybe even if you just want to see what final lineup ended up coming with, and it's an interesting one. So go check out that video. That will be posted tomorrow morning. I appreciate all the support. Let's go win some money. It is Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Clap it up. It's been a good season so far. Let's end it in style. Peace.